Hello, welcome everyone to the ILAG channel. You're welcome to another episode of this wonderful, inspiring, creative, beautiful, excellent channel. Because, of course, if I know hype myself, who will hype me? So, you're welcome to this channel. If you're a new subscriber, if this is the first time you're coming to this channel, you're welcome. Lots of kisses for you. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for sticking with all the content all along. I hope that you've been blessed, inspired, edified. As always, you know that we're here to make videos, have fun, and at the same time to enlighten and change our mindset. So you're very much welcome here. How have you guys been doing? I know that I have delayed for a long time and you've not seen much content, but I'll try as much as possible to let you guys or fill you in what I have been up to. But as you can see by the thumbnail, my people, this copied arrow does not want to hit me. But one day I will go and drag copied and hit myself with the arrow. So yeah, you're welcome. How have I been? How have you been? First of all, how have I been? Then I've been doing well, I've been okay, I've been walking to and fro, not like the devil do, but I've been up and about doing certain things. If you've seen in my previous videos, you will see that I make t-shirts. I've been up on that, one or two things on media. And then guys, I also got like some stuffs for my videos and my products to make product videos. I hope that they come out fine. Of course, I'll show you guys on this channel. And yeah, my last the weekend. So that was where I almost met the love of my life. So guys, let me fill you in with this gist. Stay tuned. Yes, so the weekend, prior to the weekend, I saw a flyer online, and it was a flyer for a church, a redeemed church. I know that I've posted something about the redeemed church here. I don't know why I'm always finding myself going to redeemed church, but anyway, that's not my home church, or that's not my mother church. I saw a flyer, and on that flyer, Apostle Arome was going to be in that meeting. And if you know who Apostle Arome is, you know that I love Apostle Arome. But not just Apostle Harime, but Theophilus. Hey, the absolute love of my life was going to be in a meeting. And of course, this meeting is happening in Lagos, or this meeting happened in Lagos. And there was a flyer I saw before that. That program happened in Agidingbi. It was an RCN branch, and I was supposed to attend there, but it was that meeting, but it was clashing with another program I had, and then there was distance and accommodation issues, so I couldn't afford to like go for that meeting. But this one, I was like, by all means, I must be there. And this meeting was happening on the island in VI. I registered as at that time. So 2 days, I even forgot the date of the program. 2 days before the program, they sent me a mail. Checked my mail, got the mail. I informed my mom about it. That mom, see you, I want to attend this program. And of course, she knows I'm big on Theophilus. Not that I have any like personal intimate feelings concerning Theophilus. I just love his hunger for God. I love his love for God, and I love the way that he can actually convey that in his song. And I've never been in any of his ministrations before, but I've listened to like almost all his songs. So I tell my mom, and she's like, my mom doesn't have anything concerning it. Of course, you can go out, but I have to let my dad in. So finally, the end of the story is that my dad finally agrees, and I get to go out on that day. Now, a day before that meeting, I'd been asking the church. I went to look for them on social media, asked them what are their plans for accommodation. Didn't get any replies. Sent them a DM. What are their plans for accommodation? I did not get any replies. Called their phone number on their Facebook page. What are their plans for accommodation? Still did not get any replies. I was like, hey God, these people. It was a 3 days program, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was like, okay, Friday was a vigil, Saturday was by 4 p.m. and Sunday was my in the morning. So I was like, hey God, please let this thing just be possible. But I just made up my mind that what's come to worst, after the Friday meeting, after the vigil, I'll come home on Saturday morning. Guys, stick with me. So, but I when I was going, I carried clothes for 3 days. I was like, I don't know how this is going to happen, but I won't stay for these 3 days. But if worse come to worse, like maybe they will lock the church up or they will chase me out or something will happen that I cannot think of, I will just come home on Saturday morning. So I get going on. I left the house. This was a vigil that was supposed to start by 10 p.m. I left the house by 3 p.m. because I was coming from the mainland to Lagos Island, and there's a whole lot of traffic, wahala, traffic issue, and I didn't want to be involved in that. Plus, this was my first time of going to the place after going through Google Maps, asking for the destination, asking around, calling my uncle, my daddy that knows the whole of Lagos, still directing me and all and all. I finally packed my bags and I left home. So I now got to this church. I got to the church but around yeah, there was kind of like a delay on the road. So I got to the church. I left my house. I said I left by 3, but I left exactly 3:51 ish. So I got to the church around, let's say, 5:36 thereabouts. And yeah, I asked around and then got into this church. First of all, this church was fine. You fine, like this church is fine. I was like, oh wow, like this church is beautiful. And I hope I'm not so early, making it be like say, So yeah, I entered the church and I sat down and I even saw other people there. So yeah, I sat down and then I was just waiting, calling Momsy, calling everybody to let them know that I'm around though. I've gotten to my destination. I was just feeling weird to take pictures and videos of church because I was like, wow, this church is fine.
Baby singing.
Most times, ministers, if there is a program for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they would probably come like on Saturday and Sunday and not come on Friday. So that's what I was thinking. So I was like, okay, let me just remove my mind from Apostle Arume coming. I didn't come here for Apostle Arume. Before leaving home, I had set expectations in my heart because from the mainland to island, transport in Lagos is not a joke. I can't leave my house from mainland to island and then go for a program and be putting my expectation because of a man. I know that it was a man that enticed me that, oh, I want to sit on that man's ministration and get blessed. But at the same time, I did not want to go there and then as if it's the man that is giving things, not God. And at the end of the day, miss out on what God had for me. So I had set expectations in my heart and I had finalized it in my heart that Apostle Arume was not going to even be there on that Friday. So that's it though. I said, let me leave church. Like, I was feeling awkward because I didn't know anybody in this church. And nobody invited me. I was like, let me leave church to come and make a video. Guy, the view is, I know this church is sweet. But above all, Sha, I hope to be blessed. I want to pray today. Glory be to God. If you even pray in this kind of environment, the prayer will be answered sharp sharp. Guys, just check out this view. Like the view is everything. Oh, forget this building, but like guys, like the view is giving. I don't know. I was just sitting down. We're praying. I prayed. I was like, oh, I've come here to pray because it was a video. It's been long. I prayed at stretch like that. I was going to pray and just express myself before God. I don't know anybody, although I made a friend there. So that's how I was just like expressing myself before God and just pouring out my heart to Him. Meanwhile, the first person to minister was a lady called Eno Michael. That lady, I'd never seen her before. I've never heard of her before, but her ministration was powerful. Like, this will just let you know that God has men that you do not even know. God has people that you do not even know. Never do you think that maybe God does not have people in places. Like when this lady was ministering, all I could just see was that this lady has a secret place, this lady has a secret place, this lady has a secret place. That's all I could see. And I was like, oh God, please help me to be steady in my seeking you. Help me to be steady in my secret place. Because there's only someone that has a secret place that can offer worship to you. That's all I could see in administration. Administration was really powerful. It wasn't like she sang any raining songs or songs to spike your emotions, but her ministration was powerful. So I was it towards the end of her ministration, I just saw someone walk in. I saw Apostle Arome with Theophilus and Apostle Arome's P. I was like, oh my God, see my people that don't know me, but I know them, you know? Oh my God, I was so happy. I was like, okay, but you have to maintain because, of course, you've been maintaining before. I was really happy. So after her ministration, then Theophilus goes up. I think no, there was prayer after that, and then Theophilus goes up. I'm like, wow. So finally, I'm sitting down under Theophilus's ministration. But honestly speaking, I would say that um, for me, there wasn't really much difference sitting under his administration and actually listening to his songs. They carry like it's the same power, like it's the same force, it's the same energy. The only difference is probably the atmosphere, but the songs, everything, they are still the same. I sit down there, and then Apostle Arame comes up, and guys, Apostle Arame is spiritual. Like, if you've not listened to his teachings before, I suggest that you go and listen to his teachings. I like the fact that he's very truthful. I like the fact that he knows how to dissect the Bible, and at the same time, he's a spiritual man. I call him that blend of spirit and truth because he really he really delivered that day. So after the vigil, I'm like, okay, where do I sleep? Where do I sleep? So it was a vigil. We closed around 4, and most of us, many people slept over in the church. There's this gist I'm missing out. So while Theophilus was ministering, I was somehow thinking that our eyes will connect. I was somehow thinking that our eyes will connect, and the Lord was telling him, Iyoma is the one for you. Iyoma is the one for you. But guess what? As our eyes were about to jam, Theophilus began to chant in high tongues and high vibrations. So our eyes never met, and the Lord never told him I was his wife. Yeah. So anyway, I was also trying to make friends in that place, and I was friendly. I made a friend. There was this other guy that sat down by my side, though. You know, the Lord works in mysterious and wonderful ways. I was greeting this guy. This guy did not answer. Hello, hi. The guy didn't even look at me. The guy didn't even smile at me. They say turn to your neighbor. The guy didn't even turn to his neighbor. I was like, ah. Before the meeting, I was like, hey God, Abi, I'm not the one that is spiritual. Is it that I did not come here to receive? This guy is just concentrating, wants to receive from the Lord. When it was time to dance, the guy did not even smile. I said, oh, maybe after that day, after the video, everyone slept. Then around 5, 6 thereabouts, people started going home. Now the question was, where will I sleep? Where will I take care of myself? Like, where will I have my bath? Like, what next? Because people were already going home. Before you know, I thought, maybe people also came from far to come for this meeting. Almost the whole hall was clear. It was just me and the girlfriend that I made at that point in time. I had to start asking around. People were going home and were not returning back. I say, hey, I've met my own today. I found a way, because this child of God here must always find a way. I found a way around 10-ish, took care of myself, had my bath, cleaned up nice. I brought extra clothes, obviously. And then the day before, I called my cousin. I was going to come over to his place to see himself, his wife, his kid. So I went there, spent time with them. And the next meeting was supposed to start by 4. I even spent time, and by the time I got to the meeting venue, it was like to 6. That was towards the end of Theophilus's ministration. So I sat down, Apostle Reme did impartation, and yeah, that was the end of that service. Another struggle of where to sleep. Thinking that maybe people will sleep in the church. So after like the whole service, I went to look for what to eat, take care of myself, and just gather myself for the next day, because I was like, I had already called my parents and told them, okay, I was going to stay for the last day since it was just tomorrow. And since that other meeting, since the Saturday meeting started by 4, I was expecting it to end around 7-ish. They ended quite early. They ended around 6:30. So I was like, I'm going to stay back. So I went to buy things I was going to eat for dinner, and then wait for like the next day. So I went to buy what to eat. I had settled in. I was going to sleep in the church, because I spoke with a man prior to like when the program was going to start. And the man told me that the church was going to be opened until Sunday, until the program was over. So I was like, okay, I'm going to sleep in the church. Brethren, that's how that I had prepared where I was going to sleep. Oh, they now came to them that they are locking the church. Hey, blood of Jesus. I was like, what? So I'm going to sleep on the streets today. Hey, God of mercy. And I started feeling like God. I was like, but I can't complain, because I came here because of God, not even because of man. Because no man will allow me to go through the struggle that I was going to go through that night. Are you people serious? They said yes, so they are cleaning the church, that they don't leave the church open on Saturday nights. They lock the church. I said, okay. So I was like, hey, what am I going to do? So I went out. There was another church upstairs. It was still a redeemed church. In short, it was redeemed that owned the entire building. So I went to that church because people slept there the night before. I went there, asked. The woman was like, oh, that the only reason they have not locked this church now is because they just finished cleaning and they're going to lock. I said, ma, please. So please, where can I sleep? She said she doesn't know. There's nothing she can do about it. I said, hey. So finally, like this in my life, I'm going to sleep on the street. Hey, so I just continued with my normal activity, as they told me I would sleep on the streets, and I continued with whatever I was doing. I was recording a podcast for a health podcast that I am a co-host on Labcast. So I just kept my chills and my calm and kept on recording, eating my food, that's biscuits. I was the only one in the hall, and another lady that was waiting for someone, and another man that was fixing the technical things in the church up. So I saw another guy that was, I think, the head of the cleaners there. So I went to meet him and I told him that I don't have any place to stay. I came from far, and they told me they're locking the church up. He now told me, okay, that he would come back and attend to me. So the other man that was the technical man inside came out and was going, was like, oh, I heard that you don't have any place to stay. I said, yes. I said, okay, that we usually lock this place up, but because of you, we'll leave it open. I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. So I just continued what I was doing. So the man left. So the other guy that was like the head of the cleaners or the head of the people managing the building came back, and then he told me that, oh, can you sleep in the lobby? I said, what? Excuse me, sir? Lobby? In this Lagos? No. Hey, I dey fear. Oh. I said, no, sir, please, I can't sleep in the lobby. And I said, okay, he'll come back. So he came back, and then he took me. He was like, okay, there's ground floor, the children's department, but he can't allow me to sleep in the church, that they have to lock the church. I was like, okay. He said, follow me. I followed him. So he took me downstairs, and the children's department is as big as It's very big and the AC was on full blast. So I just settled there and I slept there. But I didn't sleep with my two eyes closed because hey, God of mercy. I was waking up every 30 minutes to check. For one thing, because I was like with a man there sleeping, another man that was sleeping there. Secondly, because the next day was Sunday and I had to wake up very early to have my bath. And I can't wake up by 9 a.m. and people are already in church because service was to start by 8:20 a.m. So around 4:35, and I woke up finally. And then I went to have my bath, clean up, packed up my things. I said, "Thank you, Jesus, because today is the day that I finally have to go home after all this stress." Because the stress of thinking of, hey, where will I sleep? What if I sleep on the streets? What if something happens? No, I knew nothing was going to happen to me. But what if I sleep on the streets? I was like, Lord, is it worth it? But I know that anything for my Lord Jesus is worth it. Yeah, I had my bath the next day, packed my things. By 6 a.m., they already said that the church auditorium was open. So I went back into the church and that day was wonderful. Like that was the day that I got my own word, my own impartation, everything. It was beautiful. After the service, packed my bags and I went home to my father's house, Nico, where I know that I'm not going to be locked out. I went to my father's house. But yeah, that was my experience for that program. It was beautiful, it was wonderful. And aside the fact that I didn't really know anybody and I didn't have anywhere to sleep, yeah, I definitely would have not wanted to miss the experience for anything. Now I forgot to add that the person I made my friend, which we were together on Friday, Saturday, left on Saturday evening, leaving only me. I was like, is it that people did not really come from far? Because where I'm coming from, which is the campus, if there's a program, people usually come from far. But yeah, it was beautiful. I saw deaf ears pop open. I saw healing take place. I saw sudden miracles. I saw people that could not see without their glasses see instantly. It was beautiful and amazing to just witness and see the power of God. I saw, oh my God, the atmosphere was charged. It was just beautiful to see and beautiful to behold and observe and be in such an atmosphere like that. I really miss Potter's House Network. The atmosphere is usually intense. So I just thank God for that experience and I thank God that I got a word for myself. And I thank God that I did not set my eyes on men alone. Huh? Even if I saw Apostle Aaron and Theophilus there, I did not set my eyes on men alone. I hope that you enjoyed this vlog, this story. If you did, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment below that you enjoyed the video. Yeah, I thought I was going to point out some lessons. Number one, make sure you always set expectations wherever you're going to. Number two, see, once you have value, people will look for you from all over. Imagine me leaving my house just to go to a meeting because I saw Apostle Arome and Theophilus. Once you give value, people will come from far and near just to hear you speak. Hey, just to hear you speak. Till next time. Bye. That side is okay, are you sure? See, these people are pounding. Who is that one that is pounding?